Hello, Rob Hatch. It's very good to see you today. How are you doing?
It's great to see you as well. I'm doing great.
It's just let me introduce what we're doing for anybody who's just tuning in and wondering what the heck's going on. I'm Alison Jones. I'm the Director of Practical Inspiration Publishing. And this year we have 18 titles shortlisted for the Business Book Awards. So I'm taking the opportunity to have a quick LinkedIn Live conversation with the authors of those 18 books to find out a little bit of the story behind them and just whet your appetite. If you are intrigued, and you will be, I promise, then you can get all of the books that we're talking about in this series on the Kindle store for 99 pence or 99 cents, which is a bit of a bargain. And Rob's book is Success Frames. Why learning from success is the key to understanding what motivates and inspires us. And it has been shortlisted in the smart thinking category. So first of all, congratulations, Rob.
Thank you very much. I was really excited to get that nod. It's really nice.
Yeah, it is very exciting. And well, I guess first of all, tell us why you wrote the book. What's the kind of impulse behind it?
So one of the impulses behind it was this idea that, well, first of all, I've never subscribed to the notion that we learn best from our failures. I've never felt most comfortable backed into a corner or, having to fight my way out. I can fail and I can get up and I can make things happen. But the real lessons for me, and when I operate at my best, are when I remember my successes, remembering how I emerged from failure. What were the steps that I took? What were the who were the people that I reached out to? What all of those things that I used to activate myself to get and achieve some level of success. And it doesn't have to be big, massive success. But one example is if someone were telling me that they had started an exercise regimen and every day they were out there running, and one day they just the plan was to run every single day, but then on the 31st day they didn't make it out, and the 32nd day they didn't make it out, and all of a sudden they feel like they failed their effort. I'm really not interested in what caused the failure. I want to know how they made it 31 whole days. What did you do? What was the motivation? How did you set things up for yourself? How did you make the time for it? Because to me, that's where the lesson is, because you successfully completed 31 days, which is an achievement of sorts. It may not have been the achievement you wanted. So to me, that's where I want to focus. I don't want to focus on the failure, because it itself doesn't contain the lesson. It's everything that you need to do or did to succeed that far.
It's so fascinating, because there has been a bit of a kind of almost cult of failure is the best teacher, and right. That's been the kind of unchallenged wisdom for quite a long time. And you're not, as you said, you're not saying that you don't learn. Of course you do, and you have to fail. And if you're never willing to fail, you're never really going to learn anything. But I found your emphasis on almost like an appreciative inquiry, isn't it? It's like, what works? When have you managed it before? And really leaning into that, because I find failure looms so much larger than success in my mind. So that correction is just hugely helpful. So thank you personally.
Oh, you're welcome. And to me, the idea that we can rely on the frameworks that we've built, we'll find ourselves in a similar situation. And that's where the framework part comes from. So there's the success part, but the framework part is, I've been here before. I've gone through this. I've succeeded. What was it that I did? And if I have some semblance of a framework for figuring out how to apply it, I can then figure out how to apply it in a different context. So that 31 days of success in running, I can figure out how to create another streak in a different area of my life. And what did I need? What are the things that I had, I had to have things prepared, or I had to remove temptations from the rest of my life. Whatever it is, I've got now a framework that I can apply to many different scenarios. And I think when there's a personal, story to that. I mean, meaning that I think people can think personally about what it means, but I've been doing some work and some trainings with managers and supervisors on how to support their employees in discovering what those success frames are, rather than just making supervision all about whatever quality assurance checklist or the numbers that you're hitting or not hitting. Really trying to do some reflection on what went well, or what didn't, what hasn't been going well, but really when things go well, what does that look like for you? And as you said, that's sort of appreciative inquiry.
And that's the sort of systems thinking piece, but also that deep reflective practice, that sort of thinking about what actually works for you and personalizing.
Exactly. Yeah, the reflective.
Why does that matter, Rob? Why is this an important book for people to read?
Well, I think right now, from that supervisor, if you're a leader and you want to figure out, how to engage employees, and there's, Gallup has some incredible surveys that employee engagement is at an all-time low right now. And so working with and training the people who support those employees to have that skill set to do some reflective supervision to help them frame up their success. People are not looking to, people want to be coached. People want someone who helps them, pushes them a little bit, helps them set goals, but it's at an individual level. And the only way that you're going to get there is if you start having some of these conversations, and if you take this approach of building on their strengths rather than focusing on what they're doing wrong.
That's a great answer, because I typically think of this from a personal perspective and how it's going to help me as the reader, but actually you're right. And if you're responsible for getting the best out of anybody else, this is a really scalable, flexible, consistent approach to take. So yeah, brilliant.
Well, the scalable and flexible part, I'm glad you said that, because it's, right now, supervision, and I don't think it's really ever changed, supervision or those relationships have to be individualized. People are looking for individual support. I think there used to be the days of a leader or supervisor saying, well, this is my supervision style. Your style has to be set aside, or the only style you can have is to understand the style of each individual that you're working with. And this is why also it gets into creating a more sort of inclusive setting, understanding the stories, the lived experiences of everyone that's coming to you, where you can spend some time talking with them, understanding their goals, their strengths, their backgrounds, and then work with them. So you have to adapt to the style of the people that you're supervising.
Which of course is a much more rewarding and sustainable and effective way to do it. Yeah.
Right, and you're going to get more out of people. They're going to give you more, I should say, because they're going to want to. They'll see your interest. And honestly, yeah, to your point, it is much more rewarding having those conversations and understanding different stories. What people are bringing to the table and ways that you can utilize those strengths and bring them to bear. It's really fun.
Love that. And unfortunately, you're the wrong side of the Atlantic, so you weren't able to be with us in the room when the shortlist was announced. But tell us what's going on for you. How did you react?
I was glued to the screen for sure, and had my wife and my daughter, nearby as well as we were watching it. So it was really exciting. It's really wonderful to have that recognition and acknowledgement, especially for something that is so an approach. The Business Book Awards, my understanding of how they are approaching it, and all the various readers and the conversations and that go into making these decisions, when there are hundreds of incredible books that they're working through and trying to make really informed decisions about. So having that, knowing how thoughtful the process is, just made it that much more rewarding.
Yeah, it really is. It's so rigorous and as you say, thoughtful. So huge congratulations. And you're not coming across for the do, are you, on the 19th?
I'm not able to right now. It's still one of those things that maybe, but we'll see.
We will raise a glass to you. Good luck to you. Good luck to all the Practical Inspiration authors who are shortlisted. And thanks so much for just giving us a little bit of insight into how you came to write it and why. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
So 99 99 cents on the Kindle store. Success frames. If you're not convinced now, you never will be. Thanks a lot, Rob.